What's poppin', y'all? It is Nakisha Camacho, also known as Shmoney Curl. We are back with a new episode of ShhmoneyTalk. So you know I had to get a little bit switched up, personal. I brought the Mama Dukes today. Her name is Betsy Santiago, and I am so excited to have you. How you feeling? Are you ready?
Good. I'm ready.
Are you ready? Are you nervous for the questions?
No.
Good. So as a lot of you know, she's Mama Dukes to a lot of people. We call her Mama Bear. But she wears a lot of hats in her industry. She's an entrepreneur. She was a single mother. She worked hard to get where she is, but she also works with the children in the juvenile field. So let's start from the beginning before we get into all the hats that you wear.
Okay.
So being that I was the first one, you know, the first is always the best.
Yeah.
So how was it? You had me very young. You had me at 19.
Yep. I had you at 19, but it wasn't like an oops. It was planned. So I definitely wanted my kids younger so they can grow, and I won't be 60 and still have teenagers. So I plan to have kids early.
Bet.
And you were born in Puerto Rico?
Ooh.
Yeah.
I'm a fake Puerto Rican, people say, though. I don't speak Spanish. Why didn't you never teach me Spanish?
I wanted to, but it was the only way me and your dad could conversate without you kids knowing what we were talking about.
Well, shit. Hey, now it hurts a little bit. But I learned how to understand.
Yeah.
When you sent me to Puerto Rico, my cousins were talking crap about me in Spanish.
Really?
Yeah, and they understood English, and I understood a little bit just by them pointing. So little by little throughout the summer, everything they pointed at, it just clicked.
But you know a lot.
Now I do.
You know a lot.
But being in situations, yeah, I do.
Yeah.
But I'm scared. I start stuttering when I speak Spanish. No, I be sounding about blah, 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 and it sounds so good in my mind, but it can never come out completely.
You just gotta wing it.
But so I was born in Puerto Rico. What else? I was a queen from the beginning.
So you were born in PR. I believe I came back to Florida. Although I was born and raised in Florida.
Where at in Florida?
Pahokee. Pahokee and Belgrade. It's called the Muck City if you don't know. But
ooh, they got some good ribs out there.
Yeah, they do. Very small town. Everybody knew each other. It was a good upbringing. My parents worked very hard. My mom owned a business. She never liked working for anybody. She was her own boss.
It's the queen.
Yep. My dad worked for the sugar mill. And then when my dad retired, they built in Puerto Rico. And so I left Puerto Rico. I think I was like maybe 14 when I went to Puerto Rico. So I went out there, I signed up for school. Didn't like it. So I begged my mom to ship me back to Florida. And she did.
Did she really?
Yeah. So I came back to Florida to live with my mom. I tried to go to school, but that didn't pan out. So I just got a full-time job. So I ended up, obviously just getting my GED because I decided to go to work. But I still made it to college with my GED. So,
go ahead, clock that.
Yeah, make sure I throw that out there. But yeah, so when you were born in Puerto Rico, we moved when you were 1 year old back to Florida.
So who was my dad? Everybody always asks, because we'll get into that later on, but who's the father? Who's the sexy man that made me?
Felix.
Look at that smile. I love it.
Felix Camacho.
How long y'all been together?
February will be 30 years.
30 years. I keep telling people 36.
30.
God, 30
Well, I've been
years.
with him since I was 15, so.
So is that the only
52.
person you've ever been with?
Years. Yeah.
Everything.
Everything.
How does that feel? To be like with one person? Do you ever feel like you don't know how to spice it up or anything like that? Or you're scared that it might get boring?
No.
No?
It's okay to be with just one person. You don't have to have multiple partners
to
be happy.
I believe in that. And my father was also Felix Camacho, but he was also the brother of Hector Macho Camacho. He's a professional boxer.
Yep.
So he was well known, and my dad's the little brother, if y'all don't know. He was Felix Showtime Camacho. They both were world champions in the boxing industry. Rest in peace to Macho. I loved him to death. And did you know who they were before you even started dating this man?
I actually, I was a big fan of Hector.
So you knew who Theo was before you knew Dad?
Oh, yeah, I knew. And then I went to a fight in Puerto Rico, and your dad was boxing that night. And I remember telling my cousin, oh, shit, he has a brother. So, and then, after I went to that fight, when I came back to Florida, I was in Clewiston and with Dixie one day. shopping with my cousins, and there comes your father.
How long ago
Shopping.
was that separate in time frame?
A year.
Shut up. So the universe just worked it.
Yeah, a year.
So how'd he come in? Rico Suave?
Oh yeah, he came Rico Suave with some bicycle shorts and a fanny pack. Weird.
Ew, and
With-
you thought that was cute?
Yeah, with red hair. Not red hair, but like blonde hair. Yeah. Yeah, he didn't look cute. I mean, but he was very flamboyant, like bad boy type.
And this is what, in the 80s?
Yeah.
So that's more of the style back then.
Yeah, late 80s. Yeah.
God, so he had biker shorts.
Yep. 1989 to be exact.
Oh, look at you, clock that date. Go ahead. So he wore biker shorts, a
Fanny pack
fanny pack, and what type of
and
shirt?
a tank top. Showing his little muscles.
Stop it.
Yeah.
I can't. And how different is Macho and Dad in age?
Oh, in age, I think like 5 years.
And what about you and Dad?
Oh, well, I was 15, he was 23.
Shut up. That's rocking the cradle big time.
Yeah, big time.
So that wasn't because now it's an issue. They have like age frames, like 18
Yeah.
and whatever, anything over.
I mean,
like,
don't
over
think
the
back
age.
then my dad didn't want to bury him because he did.
I know. How was that?
Well, when my dad first met him, when I went back to Puerto Rico, I was 17 going on 18. So he came to my house on my 18th birthday. So my dad first met him.
Stop it. So he's already met you before then, and you knew.
Yeah,
who
we
he
were
was.
already dating in Clouston.
Okay, so how'd
Yeah.
that go? Walk me through it.
When we were dating?
No, when he came to meet Grandpa.
Well, it was on my birthday, so we were having a birthday party, and he came with his mother. And yeah, he came with his mother, and I remember he brought this big old teddy bear, big size teddy bear like this, and nothing. My dad was very calm and cool. My dad was just basically observing him, but my mom had 1,000,001 questions. Like, I'm surprised he didn't leave and never come back after that night. The way my mom drilled
Stop
him.
it.
Yeah.
Why? What happened? Like, what was she asking? This is Grandma.
Oh, yeah.
And what was she asking? What was some of the questions?
Basically, what was somebody of his age, want anything to do with me? Basically, he was the Camachos, could have any girl he want. Why me?
And what was his response?
Because I love her.
Stop it. And you felt at that age that it was really sincere? You weren't
Yeah.
scared that he was Macho Camacho's brother? He's big now in boxing too in Puerto Rico.
No, I mean, he was my first boyfriend, so that's all I knew. So I didn't know any better back
So you-
then.
So, with that being said, now Dad hasn't been around for a long time.
Yeah.
And how long has he been gone?
This time?
Let's talk in whole, from the first trip to the second trip, and we'll get into the trips in a little bit.
Well, I mean, not to sugarcoat it, he was locked up for 5 years. He came out for 3, and then he went back in for 15.
And you've been with him still this whole time?
Yes.
And nobody else?
Nobody else?
What made you want to stay?
Well, during that time, you gotta remember, you guys were little, so my focus was my kids. My focus wasn't out there trying to look for a man. My focus was work and my kids. And at that time, I had to get more education because if I was going to be a single mom, I had to learn how to support child. Couldn't make it on a $7 paying job. So back then, my focus was work full time, take care of you two, and go to school full time.
Did you ever see yourself, 15 years old, meeting him, thinking that you would spend half of your life single?
No.
How do you feel now?
No, but I think a lot of miscommunication, or people assume that I got with your father because I thought he had money, and that was never the case. We all knew who had the money. It was Hector, not Felix. That wasn't the reason I got with him. I got with him because I genuinely fell in love with him.
And seeing yourself now again, that you've been now, you were with him in the beginning until you had me.
Right.
And then you had Felix. Of course, I have a little brother. His name's
Yeah.
Felix Camacho. And he looks like Hector's split image.
Yeah.
And his father's split image is crazy.
sure.
But you had him and he left early. Like you said, he did 5 years. Let's go back. How old was I the first time?
I think at that time you were like 12. or
And
12 years old.
Felix?
Well, he's 4 years younger than you. He was like 7.
So when he did the first bid, he did 5, you said.
Yeah.
What was your thoughts at that time having 2
I'll
young
support
kids?
him. My thoughts at that first 5 years was to support him. Everybody makes mistakes. People deserve second chances.
And
You know, we went to see him every weekend, never failed.
yeah. And how'd you do that? Like being at a certain, like you only had a basic job at that point. You didn't have a career at this point. And you're a single mom with 2 kids, and every weekend we did go. And that's one thing I can remember. Is no matter what, if it was Quincy, Tallahassee,
No matter.
Pensacola,
Yeah.
when he went this time. Like, how did you even have the money to do so?
I didn't. I had a very special lady in our lives. Her name was Sue Wyatt. She came out of nowhere. I mean, she actually met your dad in Macho before I met her. And yeah, she was a guardian angel. If it wasn't for her, I would have never made those years. She was definitely the support system.
And she's my godmother.
Yeah.
My little white lady from
Yeah.
Kentucky, London, Kentucky.
Yeah.
So with that first bid, you said you wanted to support him.
Yeah.
Now let's fast forward. He comes home. I'm what, 15 when
You're
he came
15,
home?
yeah.
Felix is in his teenage years, 12 years old, 13, preteen. When he
Younger.
came home, what did you expect?
Oh, I expect him to, okay, you did your 5 years, you screwed up, you know, now it's time to take care of your family, do what you need to do. That's what I expected.
In reality, what did you get?
The opposite. Well, I think, I mean, to be fair, I have to say that he never did anything really to hurt me or hurt the kids. Like, he always hurt himself. So we have to take an accountability that substance abuse is really serious. Like, it's not, we can't just say, oh, that drug addict on the side of the street. Like, that's a mental health issues that needs to be taken seriously. And he tried, and you know, like he used to always tell me, you know, it's the little demon, you know, you got on your right shoulder, the little devil, the little angel on the left. And he tried for 3 years, but 2 is the company that you hang with. You have to, when you're in that environment, you got to let go of the people who bring you down, period.
Do you feel like it was just friends, or was there family that included into this?
I think as family, in my personal opinion, you know, thankfully to my mom, you know, I lived good because if it wasn't for my mom, you know, it wasn't because of Felix. It was my mom. She put me to live the way I live today. And I think when he was he was fine, but then sometimes you have family members that come, kind of think the jealousy of he's good, you know, or else he'd be back in the projects. So I think that played a role in some form.
Do you feel like, we all know, we don't hide the hand with our, like the sky with our hand, that Macho had similar issues that Dad's grown up with, and
Yeah.
with the drug issues and alcohol, and of course they're in fame, they're on HBO, they're getting
Yeah, I think
money.
people are really misjudged with Macho. Macho was a beautiful soul. Like, obviously we knew him as Hector. We didn't really call him Macho in the house. That personality you saw out there in the street, that was Macho. When he was inside your home, he was Hector. And people take advantage of you, and they took advantage of him a lot. Or else he would have made it, if he would have had the right people.
Do you think him and Dad were fighting the same demons?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Where do you think it came from?
I think it came from their upbringing, but I'm not going to sit here and really blame anything on his mother, because if you look at her history, she didn't have a really good upbringing herself. She did the best she could with those boys, and I don't think that she did extremely bad with them either.
So now, fast forward to the second time. Why don't you walk us through how that happened and how you were feeling?
Well, so I kind of started like getting signs. You kind of start getting signs that something's off just by the way they act and the things that they do. So I just became a detective on him.
Were you still working a regular job, or did you change up around this time?
At that point, I had left working for the airlines. I had already gotten my degree. I was already
Degree for what?
In criminal justice. So when he came out, I watched him a lot. I put GPS on his truck. I put GPS on his motorcycle.
Stop it.
Because I felt like that was the way I can like catch him, like, you know, in whatever he was doing. So, yeah. And I mean, I knew, that's it, he's done.
What was the signs that you started seeing that if somebody is going through this in a household with a loved one, a significant other, a child, what was signs that you automatically started triggering those?
Signs is they don't want to really interact too much with family. That family gathering or things that you do within the family are now pushed to the sides because when a person gets high like that, they don't want you to fuck up their high. Excuse my language. At least, you know, if you're high and I'm not high,
You tapping my shit.
I'm tapping your shit. That's the word.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I would tap his shit all the time. So, you know, he go find friends that don't tap his shit, basically. And those are the signs you see that they kind of withdraw from you.
Not you.
They want to be on their own, doing their own thing.
So when you
Come home late so you don't catch them.
So you got staying away from family, coming home late. What else? Give me two more.
Coming home late. Well, it depends what type of drugs they're on. You can tell, like by the symptoms. You know, if they're on coke, obviously they're hyper. I know this from Hector. You know, you're hyper. You want to party and be up all night. And if you're on a downer, well, you catch them bend over in the bathroom. Hi.
Have you caught him like that
Yeah,
before?
I used to. Yeah, it was heartbreaking.
I caught him like that one time, and I think that was I don't want to cry. I think that was the most triggering
Right.
thing that I ever seen.
And I think as a
before.
parent, when you hold on to things like that, you're so focused on helping the drug addict, you forget about the kids, and you don't. I think if I can go back now, that's one thing I would do different because you don't realize you're thinking you're keeping the family together, but in reality, you're actually hurting your kids, and you should always put your kids first, no matter what.
So now you started seeing symptoms, and then when you found out he was getting arrested, how did that go? Did you get
It
a
wasn't
call?
shocking,
Were
no.
you home? Were you working?
Nope. I got a knock on the door. I opened the door. They were there. I went in the room and I said, "Get dressed. You know what they're here for." I just had a feeling. It wasn't like the first round. Like I didn't cry or anything.
So you were numb.
Nope. Yep. I was numb. Yep. I was like, "Here we go again."
And at that moment, now you know, here we go again. What were your like grieving? You know, people grieve. It's almost like a death because you're losing that person, but it's even worse because you could grab them, you can see them, but it's their choice that they're not here. What did you go through? What was the emotions in that
The
moment?
second round was no emotions really. Like you're kind of just prepared for it. And the second round, you're just focused now. Screw this. I'm going to focus on my kids and my career. Now I've always been independent regardless, but now it's me and my kids.
And did you think you would have waited this long? That was your plan this whole time, or you just felt like it just went that way?
I don't know if my plan was per se to just wait. I mean, I knew my focus was never to find another man. My focus was my kids and my job and survival mode. I wasn't focused on finding another man, but you know, we're all he has too. I'm not going to leave him.
So now you're full blown into your career now. You said you went to criminal justice. Mm-hmm. Now this is the second round. With you being in the businesses, the field that you're in, how did you feel with people in your job knowing that this is about to come out, that your husband just got rearrested?
I remember being at work. I keep stuff very private. Like my job is separate from home. And I don't talk about my home life at work. Work is work, home is home. I can remember one time I was really upset because my then supervisor at the time decided, it came out in a newspaper, he decided to show it to my coworkers.
Get out of here.
Yeah. And I remember one of my coworkers who I'm still very close with, she came up to me and she was so angry. She was like, I shouldn't know this. And I just thought that was very disrespectful.
So now that we're in your field, what field do you work for? What do you do?
Probation.
And do you feel like going into that field had a lot to do with what you were going through with Dad?
Yeah, that's the reason I went to school.
Really?
When he first went in.
And what was your main reason? What was you going to do? Were you going to become a lawyer? Did you see yourself working
No,
in probation?
initially I wanted to be a cop. That was my goal, to become a cop. But as you know, I decided to go to Bahamas and my foot broke, so I couldn't do that. And then I thought about going to law school, but then I just started working, focusing on working and raising kids. So going to get my law degree was out the window.
So I feel like you sacrificed a lot through this time. So out of 30 years you've been together, how long has he been in prison?
Well, about 18.
Now, if
17.
if you can tell yourself, Betsy at 15 years old, young Betsy, would you tell her, what would you tell her after the life that you're living right now?
Ugh. If I never met your father?
No, you don't know what's happening. You know what you went through now in the future. But if you can go back to your 15-year-old self and she doesn't know what's going to happen with Dad, what would you tell her as advice?
If I would have been 15 and never met him, I probably would have stood in the path that my mom was trying to take me to.
And what was that?
Well, back then, believe it or not, I'm old now, but I used to model.
I was like, you're a bad bitch, Mom.
I used to
you're
model.
You're a bad bitch, though.
I went to New York first to become a dancer. My mom sent me out there.
Stop it.
I think that's what I probably would have become.
So you were going to be like, what is that thing that J-Lo used to do? Was it that
Yeah.
type of, shut up, what are they called?
I don't remember.
Like
now.
Fly Girls? Is it Fly
Yeah, she did Fly Girls.
Shut
Yeah.
up.
So
you probably still got a little move in that thing right there.
I'm a little old now, but
Maybe that's where I got my moves from.
maybe.
Maybe. So you would tell her
Oh, I would have stayed doing that.
and doing that?
Yeah.
And now, would you tell somebody, if somebody came to you in this way and form, that their husband's about to leave and they have young kids and they're on his 20s, would you tell them to wait like you did?
Everybody creates their own path. What my path may not be good.
But if they ask for advice?
I mean, first let me make it clear that I don't regret. I don't regret waiting.
That's my next question.
Yeah, I don't regret waiting. I mean, it is what it is. That's my soulmate. We meant to be together. And you know what? I'll wipe his ass and he gonna wipe my ass. That's just the way it is. I had somebody ask me that question, somebody that I dearly care about. She was in her 20s and her man went to prison. And she asked me, and I told her, don't. Continue your life. He got 10 years. You're young. And today, she is a very successful woman about to get married to a very, very nice gentleman.
That's awesome.
So
now where do you see yourself in the next
I don't know.
5 years?
I want to be retired in my RV, sell my house, get an RV, and travel.
So with Dad being gone, he is coming home soon.
Yeah.
How are you feeling? Are you ready? Like, are you like
No, is he
kitchen
ready?
hot?
Because I think, no, the question is he ready? Because I am not the same Betsy he left behind. So the question is he going to be ready?
Are you nervous for that?
No.
No. Ready to go full force.
I am who I am today. I tell him all the time, you may come home and you may be like, this is not going to work. It's not the same Betsy. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that.
Okay.
If he comes home and this is not what he wants, I'm okay. Mentally, I'm okay.
I like that for you. I love that for you. I feel like you deserve way more than what you give yourself in flowers. I think a lot of moms in different age groups, even me, we forget that even though we're a wife, we're a daughter, we're a sister, that we're still women. And you need to cater to yourself, really manifest what you want as a person too, because now you're in your 50s, you've raised us, you've worked your whole life. you've taken care of somebody in and out, and it's almost like you did time with him, in other words, and that's what it was. You did a bid. So it's like you have so much more years to really get where you need to be at. And I feel like a lot of women need to refine themselves, find hobbies, make friends. And I feel like it's time for that, for you.
I know, but you're always trying to tell me, go out, go make friends. I like being by myself.
No, you need to venture
I like my
out.
house. I like
No, I
being
feel like
home. I
all
like
you
being
do is stay
relaxed.
home.
Nope, I love it.
I feel like you stay home too much. You're like a hermit.
Nope, I love it.
It's ridiculous.
I come home to my peaceful house, my 2 little Frenchies. It's so peaceful.
Bougie ass Frenchies.
Oh, I love it.
I can't. But don't you want to travel?
No,
No?
not really.
You've only been to one place, ever.
I've been to a couple places.
You've been to like Canada.
Yeah. I don't like all that hassle of traveling. There's some people like you who can't.
I'm a gypsy.
You can't be home for more than 2 days, and you're like, I gotta get out of here. I love it.
Shit.
I love being home.
Shit. I need spice. I need sauce
I know.
into me.
And I be trying to make you into a full-blown housewife, but we're working on it.
Hey, I'm starting to cook. That's what matters.
I see that.
I'm on TikTok
Betty Crocker.
right now. Did you see?
I did see the
pot
mashed
pie.
potato. Yeah.
Shit. It was very delicious. Loved it. I'm trying all new things. The only thing I can't get is the damn rice. Because you don't measure for
You got to
nothing.
have the right pot.
No, bull crap. What she told me one time, you ever make Puerto Rican rice,
You
right?
got to have the caldero. If you don't have the caldero, you can't do rice.
No, it's the finger thing. I'm like, Mom, how
Not
much
that finger
water?
thing, no.
How much thing? She goes, you put your finger in.
No, I
and you
never
hit the
said put your
Oh,
finger.
Grandma. No, it's a spoon with
Spoon.
you. She says,
I don't
put
use
the
spoon.
spoon in, and if the spoon doesn't move, the rice is perfect
It's gonna
with the
be
water.
hard. No.
No, you told me if
It'll
it
be hard.
Well, but yeah, if it doesn't move.
Gotta tilt a little.
But it's no, my shit blew, and mine just stays
You
still.
just gotta. Listen. I've tried to. I'm cooking. I try to say, Nakisha, come here. You're like, I know. I don't want to.
Because who wants
On
to
the
at
other hand, my
15 years
grandson
old?
can cook.
Oh, Gordo can cook.
Anything.
No, he's gonna be Chef Ramsay.
No, he can do anything.
He cooks me Mother's Day breakfast in bed, and I can smell the bacon. I'm like, oh, that smells good. I get up,
Yeah,
it's
he's
his
so
butt
good.
with no shirt on, popping bacon like this the whole time. I'm like, yo, that's the first thing he's gonna pop a nipple. He was just so happy though. He made me the fluffiest pancakes, the
Yeah.
best bacon ever,
He's so good.
ever. So, anything that you feel like you can do better right now as a person for yourself?
For me,
Yeah, for you.
I mean, I want to start like thinking about myself and not feeling guilty and feeling like I need to be selfish for once.
And how would you take steps to do that?
I don't know, because
Not pick up my
first
phone
comes
call?
the husband, then comes the kids, then comes the grandkids. It's like you don't get a break. So I don't know.
You gotta zone out, airplane mode it. That's the best way. Why do you think I go to Puerto Rico in the middle of the mountains? Away, no, nothing. You can't listen to shit. It's just your peace of mind and some, what's it, bacha?
See, but there's things that you like to do that I don't like to do.
So what's your thing?
Your thing is traveling.
And what's your thing?
I like to go to Ching Ching.
Ching Ching. What's Ching Ching? So people can know what the hell Ching Ching is. Cha-ching. She likes to Ching Ching, go to the casino.
I swear to God, I can go there and I don't think about nothing and nobody. The thing I'm thinking about is that machine. That's it. That's my getaway. I swear to God, I don't think about nothing or nobody.
I can't. I'll call her sometimes and she'll be, all I hear is ding, 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 ding. She's like, oh my God, I just hit the balls, Keisha. I just hit the balls. And she's going crazy over it. Crazy. What's the most you ever hit?
The most in Immokalee on Christmas Eve.
How much?
I won almost 15 grand.
Damn, I need a loan, son. Why you don't tell us?
I did tell you. Remember, you were gonna go drive out there. You were Junior was there with me. We had the whole family except you.
Shit.
Yeah.
I don't like gambling.
I know.
I do not like it. I get
You just
tired.
spend $20. She's like, I'm gonna go drink.
I'm gonna go drink. I put $20 in and I put 10. I lose 10. I take the other one. That's enough for a Long Island.
Yeah.
Well, back then it was like 15 now.
no,
You can't
no
catch me in no damn casino spending money, losing money.
Yeah.
Nope, can't do it. Well, I appreciate you coming and being like super vulnerable and opening up. If not, a lot of y'all know my mom's a Sagittarius. She don't talk about nothing. She stays home. She's a full-blown hermit with her little Frenchie Pookie. So
Yes.
I appreciate you coming on and talking about where you came from, and it comes to relationships and stuff like that. We never know who we can help out.
Nope.
So I appreciate that. Well, you already know. It is ShhmoneyTalk. It is Nakisha Camacho. Thanks, Betsy Santiago, for coming. Mama Bear, found that shit. Appreciate you. And stay tuned for the next episode.